My name is Virg, and this is my God story. In 1980, Jan and I started our first business. I was 22 and Jan was pregnant with our son, Aaron. You see, I'm an entrepreneur and I had always dreamed of having my own business. And Jan, who has always been a supporter of my dream, even at the expense of her own, went along for the ride. Yes, we started a business just as the country was entering the recession of 1981, when the Fed fund interest rates peaked at 20%, and we think 5.5% is high today. I'd like to say that I had a grand business plan that couldn't fail, but in reality, I was flying by the seat of my pants. So in early 1980, with bank financing in place, we opened our doors in downtown Wayne, selling unfinished furniture, waterbeds, and kitchen cabinets. Over the next 3 years, both Jan and I, along with a couple of employees, worked day and night to keep the doors open. So after 3 years of trying to make the business work, we were faced with the reality that we were not going to make it. You see, I'm a fixer by nature, and not being able to fix what I had started put me in a very low place. We owed the bank over $85,000 with nothing to show for it, and the only option seemed to be bankruptcy. If I can think of anything good that came out of the situation, it was that feeling of hopelessness that drove me to my knees. I found myself often crying out to God as to why this was happening. It made me totally dependent on God. One biblical principle that both Jan and I were taught in growing up was giving. Tithing to the Lord was a priority for us. It has been an area of our marriage that we have had little disagreement. I can remember as a kid watching my parents struggle at times financially, and yet always finding a way to cheerfully give. I often heard at home, "You can't outgive God." So you're probably wondering what happened. Did we have to file bankruptcy? Well, by the grace of God, no, we didn't. You see, God took that first business and led us into another business that we didn't even see coming. The bank worked with us, and just 2 years later, we had paid the bank in full. This was the first of many experiences that God was faithful in our lives. It was because of that first experience that I'm reminded often that I can't outgive God. The Lord's loving kindnesses indeed never cease, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:22 through 23. And that's my God story.